like 7 songs on it.
Yes.
Oh, that's incredible.
That is. That was his album.
The whole thing
last year.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
This new one,
it's
kind of cool on.
It's real bass heavy and real LA. Like I've been living in LA for so long, and I'm going to make the underground LA type music, and I'm like, that's cool. I don't need that much damn bass.
I like I didn't like it when I first listened to
song.
it, but now I'm like those last like 4 tracks after he sings, after the singing song, I was like, yo, I'm with it.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah,
his promotion for it is hilarious.
And that cover is hilarious.
The cover is hilarious.
That
cover is the best.
It is.
Freddie Gibbs. That cover's hands down the best.
Well, black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Houston down to my socks. I don't have on socks. I got Huaraches on like I always do. Actually, I'm lying. I don't even have on Huaraches. But anyway, we're back with another episode of In My Humble Opinion. I am once again Carlton Banks. Carlton with a K, B-A-N triple X. Carlton with a K, B-A-N triple X. And then we also have...
I'm Devon. Apparently, I'm... Oh, wait. We're going to put it on the bottom?
He's Just Devon.
Oh, Just...
Yeah, you got to...
There we go. Just Devon. Yeah,
he put his finger over it.
That's me. That's special. That's special effects. Special effects.
So pedestrian.
Pedestrian.
We have.
That's cool. Also, notice we got headphones today too.
Yeah, we do.
We're stepping up. We got headphones. We got mics. It's a whole thing going on.
We can hear ourselves, and now it don't sound like trash.
Yeah.
But we're here once again. We have a special guest today. If you like cinematography, if you like basically you like art, photography. Yeah, I'm getting to.
I was just alley-ooping.
Yeah, you did. You did it real perfectly. He's over here in the middle, the only light-skinned person in the room right now.
I didn't expect
Thank you.
The light skin.
Appreciate it.
The light skin. Yeah.
This is David Wright, a.k.a. Odiwams.
What's up? What's going on? What's going on? Cameras, lights, action.
Yeah.
There are lots of cameras. There are lots of lights. He can tell us. Actually, he set us up on what's that thing called? The lower
third.
The lower third.
Yeah.
See, he knows his stuff because he was
Mixmaster
like,
Mike.
"Hey man, put your lower third on the left, juxtaposed against your logo on the right." I was like, he knows his stuff. He's a videographer.
He does. He knows exactly what to do.
He's got his stuff going on.
Helped us already.
So it makes sense.
Hey man,
Man,
you gotta make sure it looks good. I mean, I'm really asymmetrical.
Oh yeah.
It has to line up. I don't know. Even if things are like not in line, they have to something has to weigh it. So lower third, man. Come on.
Hey.
I mean,
I am learning this as we go.
Yeah.
This is not my profession.
For
We just winging it. First, let's start because I'm like, I've called you David Wright. He's called you David Wright, but then we've also called you Odiwams. Odiwams, you got to tell us what that stands for because it's great.
It is.
It is. One day will all make sense. So, if you're a Common fan, I was introduced to hip hop through the Slum Village, and Slum Village I learned that Dilla was the producer, and then from Dilla I was just like, okay, Common has done a lot of Dilla stuff or been on a lot of Dilla beats, and I gravitated towards One Day It'll All Make Sense. So it's like Odiwams.
Oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. So it's an acronym.
It's an acronym.
That's awesome. Acronym. That's the word.
I
was waiting for
acronym out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
$5 word today.
Odiwams. And you are from what part of Houston?
So I've actually been all over Houston.
Yeah.
But I graduated from Jack Yates, so I'll say that I'm from the Tray. But even though I've been Southwest, I stay down the street, South Gessner.
Okay.
On Gessner in the
They
town.
just
You know the
redid
townhome.
Jack
You know the
Yates.
townhomes that are like, it's like townhomes on this side, apartments on this side on Gessner.
No.
Apartments.
That's the biggest thing I've ever heard.
I'm about to say. I'm not.
Well, I stayed on Gessner. I've stayed all over Houston, but my home is Third Ward.
Okay, your home is Third Ward. That's awesome.
They just redid Jack Yates too.
They did.
Just redid Third Ward.
They did. I'm gonna see if I can get in good as being part of the alumni and go use some of their stuff because they got some high dollar, $1 million stuff.
And you should be able to.
Looks great.
Yeah,
it's awesome, man.
With this eye for aesthetics, you should be able to use their equipment. I mean, come on.
Are they
be happy to have alumni like you?
they're not gentrifying Yates though. Like it's still going.
They trying to.
Okay,
say
I mean, that's the purpose.
Oh.
If you look at that school and you look at this our school before then, like the one that I graduated from, we were under populated when I was going to school.
Uh-huh.
I mean, my graduating class was like 320 people.
Damn.
Really?
So
Nothing.
then you go from this school that was underpopulated at like I think the total is like 1,000 kids. Now this school that they've built can fit up to a 5,000 or something. It's like some crazy ass number.
Yeah, they got people coming.
Yeah.
I
They're
mean,
gonna gentrify it and change it to George Bush High School. Like, that's what
it'll probably always be Yates.
Yeah, it'll always be Yates.
We just want to know why it's called.
They'll change. Okay.
The school, the school is still around because the alumni has been so active. Actually,
Okay.
I'm not as active, but the alumni has been very active. So the plan was to demolish that school.
Yeah.
Was to demolish it, was just to get rid of Jack Yates. Period. No more Jack Yates. So they were going to sell the land and do something with the land or whatever, and it wasn't going to be anything there.
Oh my god.
So now that's not happening, but it's kind of crazy because like I'm from Third Ward, live in Third Ward. Technically, kind of part of the gentrification, but I ain't got no money like that.
That's right, because you moved back. You bought a place out there.
Yeah,
right?
So I got in where I could fit in.
So Third Ward raised you.
Yeah.
So
and
Houston raised you.
Houston raised me.
But you claimed Third Ward. How was Third Ward? Well, obviously you're a photographer. So how does Third Ward influence your art?
Influence my art. Ooh.
Because I mean, you are a product of your environment, as everybody is.
For sure. I think because my tagline on my bio on Instagram for the longest time was something that was like really creepy, and I decided to change it because it's like if people who know me knows it's like he's just being funny.
Yeah.
But it was people watcher for hire, which kind of sounds like a private eye or a stalker.
Yeah.
People watching for hire. Okay.
Right.
But so I changed that recently, and I just said now it's just like the camera emoji with for hire. There it is, right there.
There we go.
Insert professional deep haiku. I just added that actually. So I like that.
Yeah, that is true. People do that.
So, but at any rate, I think I really think that I got that because I've always considered myself like as an outsider looking in, just because of my my racial background, as far as like my racial diversity.
Now, how is that affected? We're talking about racial diversity. Your background is.
So my mom is. Well, I'll give the long version. My mom is Spanish, Mexican, English, Irish, and I'm black. And somewhere down the line, there's some Indian in there somewhere. Okay. I mean, I think it's all black people
For the most part.
Now, all black people got everything in them, given the historical implications.
Yeah, I guess.
You're like,
blacks.
Yeah, you got a little mix.
Yeah.
But it for me growing up, it was kind of tough. It was like, you're not enough of this or enough of that, enough of this, and then I'm pretty racially ambiguous. Like you can't look at back then for sure you couldn't look at me and be like, oh yeah, he's a black kid. No. It's like a little Latino boy.
Yeah, when I first met you, I thought you were a Mexican dude.
See?
Yeah.
And it depends on how long my hair is at the time, how long my beard is.
You took your hat off, and then I was like, okay, he's probably black with the way that you were interacting with Tubo, friend of the show.
Or he could be Middle Easterner. Like, it's just, it depends.
It goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I put on my IG quite often, me riding my vehicle. It's like a little bitty wheel that's it's an electric unicycle. All right.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Just say it.
So at any rate, I was rolling home one day I was getting off the rail going back to my house, and I'm rolling home. I rode by this lady who I assume may be Muslim or not. But she greeted me. She's like, "Assalamu alaikum." I was like.
All right then.
I don't know the response. I have no idea, but she assumed that I was Muslim. I was like, all right, so let's cut the beard down a little bit. Let's figure this thing out.
Also, we'll probably throw a picture up. You have to see. Do it in post, like in an electric unicycle.
I understand.
We were at Brooklyn Athletic Club.
Yeah.
That's the first time I saw you with the electric unicycle. And he was like, I'm about to go. And he literally took like a disc out. And I was just like, what is he doing?
Stepped out the future.
But he rode it from like the back bar area all the way out. I just kept thinking like, yo, that's bold. Because I would have walked like at least a block off. Because I was like, he definitely rides this a lot because he's got the balance.
Oh my
like he
God.
went over different terrain and went into the street.
Yeah, I know, that street
and then
was
just
horrible.
zoomed out into the darkness. And I was just like, yeah, he definitely rides. I think it was like me and Floss were looking like, yo, he definitely rides that thing.
Wow.
Because I was like, yo, I would have definitely I would have bust my ass coming off the curb and just skid it out.
I understand. I would have never wrote that in public. I'd have been embarrassed.
I'm like, yo,
Hey, man,
I
I'm
got the
the guy,
balance.
though.
I don't know. I feel like I'm weird enough to where I'm not. I don't worry about the embarrassment as much as I used to.
That's why I like you. When we were at Brooklyn Athletic Club, you took out your laptop and you just started playing video games, and I was like,
Gotta do it, man.
It was a good
okay,
video game, though.
I
downloaded
know
that. Cups.
I've seen
Oh, that
him
shit's dope,
before.
man.
Yeah.
That shit
Love
was,
it.
was amazing.
Love it.
But it was awesome. I was like, this dude is so cool.
So, what gets you into?
Oh, hold on, wait.
Oh,
wait,
wait,
the people watcher thing.
Yeah, let's talk about
So the outside perspective, as far as like people watcher for hire, and as far as like, what influences my art. I'm sorry. I'm always observant of everything.
Okay.
Like, and it's not to a creepy degree, but like I watch people, their mannerisms, how they interact with each other, and how they interact with whatever they're doing. So I think that a lot of that comes through in my work. But that's that by living in Third Ward and being that outsider, especially going to Jack Yates. Yo, the first day, oh my God, that was so weird.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
The first day, so I went to Welch Middle School. Yeah. Leaving Welch at the time was a very mixed bag of racial diversity. It was everything, and then from there I went to Yates, where it was basically just all black people. Yeah. And that's not something I'm unaccustomed to. Like my dad's family, I've always been around my dad's family.
Yeah.
I'm a black man. All my friends are black. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, no.
But seeing this mixed boy walk through a crowd of people and it's like, who the hell are you and why are you here? It's kind of like the look.
Yeah.
And so the courtyard was definitely always interesting. And it was Yates in between the time of like Yates, like the Yates you used to hear about, like, oh, you go to Yates? Oh shit.
Yeah.
And like not Yates. Like my class was kind of different, and I was also in the school of communications, so which made it even more different. Like I did media tech in high school.
Oh, man.
That's where I also actually started.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
We
you
could
did
probably
media
relate to
tech.
that
Yeah,
aspect
of
because
course.
we grew up in San Antonio, then we moved to Alaska,
Yeah.
and then we came back.
How do I not know this?
But
Yeah,
I
we
will
don't
say
talk
this,
about
though.
that enough.
We're the only, like, we go to schools where we're the only black people. And I think our mother was, like, worried about, oh, people aren't going to like you because you're black. And literally the exact opposite happened.
Oh, we got super
Like,
popular.
They were like,
we
oh
were
my
cool for
God.
no reason. Like, they're like,
let me tell you,
He's a black person.
he's not gonna like this. But let me tell you, this guy over here, star basketball player.
Oh
nah,
shit.
when I tell
It was
you.
like playing basketball. In the
Oh,
1950s.
no. Here,
He's the Jackie Robinson.
I'm gonna cut the interview because here was the ultimate problem. I was the Shaq. I was Shaq up there. Like the coach was like,
That is so
sixth
funny.
grade Shaq. He's like, get under the goal. We'll pass you the ball. You put it up. I'm scoring points every game. Like I'm the leader, hands down.
Hands down.
Hands down. I'm the leader. We come down for a
San
trip.
Antonio and
Christmas is visit my cousins. I'm full of myself. Like I'm like, yo, I'm the #1 basketball player in Anchorage. Like you can't hold me. You can't hold me at all. Keep it in mind, remember I told you, like I stand under the basket and I put it up. I'm not learning dribbling skills. I'm not learning how to move the ball like I'm to stand under the basket, put it up. They took me down to a court and we're out here and
Classic Inwood.
This little boy crossed me up so hard. Like, I'm telling like hard. Like, I literally, like, actual breaking ankles. And I remember my first thought was, why he dribbling with both hands? I said, you're not supposed to be dribbling out of here with both hands. You got the both hands out? And so that's when I realized
where they do that at?
I said, basketball's not my game. I said, that's just it.
We identify.
I was out here.
You know.
So, yeah, we was popular for no reason. Yeah. We were just like, oh, y'all are black and y'all are from the South, so y'all are cool. Like, y'all know, and we were just lying about stuff. Like, they're like, oh, you know all this hip hop. I was like, man, I would just come home, steal my cousin's hip hop CDs, come back up. Like, this is what we listen to. I'm listening to it for the first time, too. I was like, yo, I was listening to Aerosmith with y'all last week.
Thank you.
I don't know who Scarface is.
He used to love that song.
I love that song.
As a kid.
I used to love it. Then I was like, I stole my cousin's Ghostface CD back when I thought that Wu-Tang was one person. I listened to that Ghostface CD over and over and over again. So when I came back down and found out Wu-Tang had 9 people, I was like, what?
Mine was
I
blown.
said, yo, they all got albums?
No.
Yeah.
We grew up like that where we said it, like, basically what happened was a lot of times we'll go, you know, of course, you grow up in the suburbs, so your parents just, I mean, let's face it, they want to make sure that you're black. So they would put us in summer programs and like TSU and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And
it's like a pop quiz, black test.
And that's
that's where you find out. You're like, okay, you gotta
identify with you in that aspect of going in there, and they'd be like, so you know what King Vitamin is? I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like, our school got integrated.
That's what happened.
And then, like, everybody that we used to go to church with started coming. We went to Dulles out of Sugarland. Then, like, everybody went to church with and would be going to Willow Ridge and stuff. Started coming over to our school. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Now we got black people here. So I remember sitting with a group of my friends the day that black people came.
That's funny.
I said the day black people came. Yeah. So I saw some of my other friends.
The day that niggas took over.
And I was like, yo, let's go sit with them.
It sounds so weird.
No, but I picked my tray up and I went over to the black people I knew and I looked back and the white people were still sitting. And it was like, oh, we're good. I was just like, oh, okay. So I just sat down to have my lunch with them. I was like, oh, there's differences with us. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't know at first. You didn't realize.
Okay.
Yeah, we say all that. It was a trip to say we identify with you when it comes to stuff like that. When you're just around.
Kind of outside. And just being on the outside.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about being an outside observer because if you guys, you probably you'll see it in the pictures, but if you see you in a room, I'm thinking about like we were just at like Things with Todd's event, your camera work is not obvious. You're not the guy that's going around like, hey, guys, pose, get together, like click or that kind of thing. It's very much like a lot of times you are taking pictures while people are talking, quick click here, and you'll see you post stuff later on, and you're like, oh, I didn't even know he was taking a picture right there.
Yeah, it was real sick. And it was that dude's birthday party. It was one of the Chopaholics' birthdays.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. So I'm like that. It is interesting where you're talking about being that like outside observer. It definitely flows into your pictures. What gets you into photography?
Okay, so media tech, high school. I mentioned that earlier. So I was it's actually pretty funny too. So I wasn't the main camera guy. I learned how to do so at Yates we had the media tech program. Media tech program involved editing, involved shooting, and also involved radio broadcast. I didn't do radio broadcast. But I was a part of the news. We had like a newsroom or like a studio.
Like for the announcements and all that stuff?
No, like lights and the whole nine. They had a whole production studio.
Oh, okay.
To for interviews.
Okay.
Kind of like a newsroom.
All right.
So at any rate, we had 3 cameras, huge cameras, and I started with with those main cameras, and where I was good, but I wasn't really doing anything. And then I moved into the B-roll to where I had one that was on my shoulder, and I'm just walking around and I'm getting B-roll. So that was back in high school.
Yeah.
I go to college.
Where'd you go?
I went to U of H.
Okay.
So I go to U of H, and it's time to pick a major. And I had a conversation with my high school teacher, counselor, or whatever about media tech and about cameraman. And it's like, I want to be a cameraman. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be a cameraman. And then I find out the cameraman have to go live in like Podunk, Texas, and sit there in smaller markets. Now, they didn't explain it to me then. Like, smaller markets just means like you're not in Houston, you're in San Antonio, or you're not in Atlanta, you're in Macon, Georgia, which is down the street. So, but I'm thinking like I'm not going to go live in some small ass town. Like, I'm not doing that. So I changed my major. I was just like, I'm not doing this. So I switched it to marketing, and that's actually how I met Floss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And well, I met him through my cousin. Longer story. Anyways, so I changed it to marketing, and I don't finish school. And I go through life, go through some trials. Everyone goes through those, and then circle back around. Let's say about 2005. Floss, Hash, Dustin, they're all doing music, and video or capturing like the events and performances became a necessity for them. So then I picked back up the video, and then for 8 years I've been archiving like them and them.
You see what he did there?
713. All right.
So I've been archiving them and amassed like a bunch of footage of their performances and everything. Awesome. And the whole time I'm doing that with the camera that Floss bought, I'm learning how to use a camera.
Okay.
So fast forward to, we'll go to last year. So fast forward to last year, my wife tasked me with finding a photographer. For the longest time, Hash specifically, my homeboy, and my wife had both been saying, it's like, hey, you should use the camera that you own and you should go shoot. Like, you should go shoot weddings or graduation photos, like make some extra money. You do it anyway, and video just really isn't popping like that. Like, not for me, because it's always been a struggle to explain to people or explain to a client, hey, there's a lot of work that goes into doing this. There's a lot of hours. The thing that you want me to delete right now took me 8 hours to complete. And but that whole time I'm building my eye, building my own style and the things that I like. When she asked me to find a photographer for our wedding, I was very specific on what I wanted our pictures to look like. So I went out, found a photographer. Photographer canceled, but because I was so not envious, or I had such a strong admiration for his work, I was just like, wow, I'll just do it. That was the switch.
Wow. So you shot your own wedding?
No. I didn't shoot my own wedding, but I made the conscious decision that I really want to do photography.
Okay.
So your wedding was the catalyst that
the searching for the wedding photographer was the catalyst.
Okay.
And so since then, going on 2 years, I switched to photography as my primary. I do get video work every now and then. I know you guys got some.
Actually, let's pull up the video.
But photography is my heart.
Okay,
that's awesome.
Who's the photographer that whose style that you were looking at? Or do you want to say the name or not? I don't know if you want to say the name. You might want to be like, hey.
Well, I've been keeping his name under wraps just based off of the fact that he had he canceled on me. And he felt bad about it. I was like, no, it's all good.
Well, the only reason I'm saying it is because he canceled on you, but obviously there's still admiration for him because you're like, he canceled on me, but I still like this guy's
I'm a big
style.
I'm a big person, and
so I didn't think it was like he canceled on you like, I don't like this guy no more.
No,
obviously there's still
No, he's the homie, everything. And
okay.
I told him several times like, hey man, thank you. Because if he wouldn't have done that, I probably wouldn't have made a decision to say, I'm gonna pursue this.
Oh, okay. Now, okay, so we're looking at your video. How long did it take to shoot this?
This? We did this in one day. This was back in 2016, actually.
Because
He took a year to release it because he'd been working on the project for so long. But it was 2 days. It was like half a day. We went to the beach. We drove around. We went to go get Prez. Then he took us to a studio. So it was like a day and a half. Not 2 days. Day and a half.
Now, when you talk about like the process of from start to finish, I mean, from coming up with the video idea to releasing a video, on average, how much work are you putting into that?
Putting into the actual. Okay, so I said I'm not a perfectionist by no means. I mean, look at how I'm dressed. Straggling. That's not. But when it comes to like aesthetics and things that I love to look at, or like with my art, I like for it to feel good.
Okay.
Not just for myself, but like if anyone is watching it, they're just like, man, it flows, it feels good, like it puts you in a certain type of mood. And if I don't feel that, I'll delete it. Like that video, while it's 3 minutes, I restarted that video like, I don't know, like 10, 15 times.
Oh, okay.
So you are a perfectionist.
Yeah, it could be. Like, when it comes to the art, yeah.
And it makes sense.
Hash was pissed. He was like, Doc, can I just get a video? I was like, man,
He knows the process.
I was like, I said, man, I'm sorry, bro. I started over. So how long did it take me to do that video? How long did it took us to shoot it? It took, footage wise, we had maybe 6 hours of footage.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. But as far as like how long it took me to actually edit it and be happy with it,
Yeah.
it took like a month.
Okay.
Are you happy with it?
Yeah, no, I am. Now,
Okay. I understand.
I wasn't then though. And then he was like, he saw the rough, and then I deleted it and started all over. He's just like, man, I just need to put out something. So I get it with video specifically. I'll get in a vibe where things just start to click. Like, okay, I'm gonna grab this. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pick this up from here. I'm gonna do this. And then when that happens, like when I get that inspiration moment, like I'll go through a video real quick. But until I feel it, it's really hard to work. It's really hard to do any of that stuff.
I understand.
That's another reason why I backed away from video, because I'm so immersed in that process of it. There's no, like, there are some guys, there's some very successful videographers in Houston that have gotten it down to a science, down to a formula. Like, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and they're plotted out. They've already got it in their head. I'm not that guy. I'm more of a feelings guy. I'm that in life just in general.
Yeah.
So editing is like, it's not necessarily, for lack of a better word, a problem. It's just that it takes you a while to edit because of the feeling that you need to get from each shot. You're requiring a certain, I don't know if I'm asking this question right because I'm not sounding right, but you're requiring like a certain emotion from each shot that you take in order to come up with the puzzle of, because it's like, as a creative, right, you start with nothing.
Yeah.
And you have to put it together yourself.
Correct.
So it's like every time that you do that, you come up with, I guess, a different puzzle each time. So you need to evoke some sort of emotion for.
You have like an
in-game
in-game emotion. Yeah.
I get what you're asking. It is chopping together videos is an unsolved puzzle, and what that puzzle looks like. I don't know what the puzzle looks like. I think a lot of videographers have a you know, when you used to do the puzzles with your grandma, and she had the little box out, and it was like, okay, this is what the picture looks like. Now find the pieces and put the pieces to make the pieces look like this picture. Yeah, I don't have the picture.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're putting together the puzzle blind, and if you put something together and you don't like it, you're like,
well, I'm doing all of it. I'm doing it all off of feeling. Like there's a video right now, and it is basically done. There was one thing that I wanted, and that's another thing. I'm a big person on input from the artist that I'm shooting for. It's like, I want to be happy with it, but I want the person I'm doing it for to be happy with it. We have another unreleased video that is done. technically, and there were like a couple things where I wanted Hash to come through and take a look at it so we can release it. And it's a song with Hash and Floss on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so, but like I need that input. Things go faster if I get the input because they're going to be like, all right, so what do you think about this? I can bounce ideas and stuff like that. Video has always been a struggle, but the biggest struggle for video has always been, and the reason why I kind of that took a back seat to photography for me has been conveying to people, like even if they do give me a set, like this is what I need. Okay, I'm gonna do that, but this shit's gonna cost some money. Like pay me. And they don't get that
when it comes to
they don't
any creative job.
They don't get it. And I was just like,
that's just a common thing, and especially jobs such as I would say video. The only thing I can think of is like we did catering for a while. I had a cousin and I that did catering, and then any job where people can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody feels like I've cooked food, so I can do this. I have a camera, so I can take a video. Yeah. And so you're just kind of like, oh yeah, this is like real easy to do. Yeah. Like this will be simple. And then it's, they're not thinking about the amount of hours and work that are spent. I think we were both at South by Southwest at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think we missed each other, right?
We did. We kept missing each other, but I remember I was at something. I was at the concert that we were putting on, and it was Trey the Truth there. And I remember I took some pictures, and I took a picture of Trey. And then I was like, oh, this is a really cool picture. I like it. And then you posted a picture of Trey at something that you were at. And I was like, how do you get this picture looking like this? I said, my picture looks like trash. Like, so I deleted my photo. But, like, that's it. And I remember I was like, yo, you don't think about how difficult it is to get certain images. Like, I'm impressed with the fact that, like, a lot of your, darker images where we're talking about, like, yo, he took this picture and it's dark. Like, this was in the club and it is dark. When you take a picture in the club and it's dark, it gets that real bright shot. Like, when I take a picture, it looks like somebody popped out the bushes and surprised somebody, like, ha! Yeah. There you go. Like, the person's like that. I said, yours are real. Some of the pictures you took of Toby, Toby from the SWAT, where you're like, these are like real emotion invoking pictures, but they're also there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get in the way that would have happened had I have taken the picture. And it was the same thing. Like, I think when we were doing catering jobs, people are like, oh, I know how to cook. Like, just bring the food. You're like, okay, well, here's the cost. Oh, I can do that cheaper. Can you? Because
will you?
Ours will taste better. Like, you called us for that because you like the way it tastes, and we're cooking it for a large group, and we're bringing it to you. Yeah. Like, it's not pizza. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, it's just not. Like, it's just a total difference of, like, that kind of amount of work. So you're saying, like, when it comes to videographer, like, you think the expectations are lower in terms of the cost for a videographer than a photographer?
Hands down.
Okay.
I think videographers have it tough. The appreciation for a photo seems to be, well, I'm kind of seeing a transition. So ever since I said, all right, I'm doing photography, I've gotten more requests and more, and I guess that's probably because of the work from the photography end of it. And they're just like, oh, well, damn, if you can do a photo like this, I guess you can do a damn good video. And the two don't translate, not to me, not at all.
Oh, wait. So, like, look at this picture here.
Look at
My
that.
picture would be so bright.
I'm saying.
And it wouldn't capture J. Cole at all. Like, well, this is at the Jambalaya Fest.
Jambalaya Fest.
Yeah,
Look at the background.
Yeah. Capturing things like smoke, colors, background. My picture would have been completely dark, or it would have been completely light. Like, that's it.
I can see the gray on his beard. It's amazing.
But, okay, back to what you were saying now. We're sitting here, you're saying, like, now that the photography is starting to get out there, now you're like, people are like, oh, you can do a great video.
And the videos, I think, I know that I do good video. I know I have an eye for it. I have the experience. Most of all, I just have the experience for it. Like I know how to execute what someone's asking for now. The learning process before was a steep learning curve. When I'm doing something that I'm passionate about, that's the tough part because I get in the way of that. But from a client request perspective, I had to redo recently. I had to redo a video for a company. I won't say, but I had to redo a video for a firm that had a recap of an event that they did, and the videographer that did it didn't execute the best. So I had to use her footage. I had no additional footage, and I had to make this kind of feel better.
Okay.
The client loved it, and they're completely happy, and that's because I know how to execute with what I'm working with. But I would have shot it completely differently.
Yeah.
I would have done all kinds of stuff differently, but nonetheless, they were still happy with it. So, I get those kinds of requests, and I'm not turning them down.
I'm about to say they're paying.
They're paying gigs.
I'm not turning them down.
And it might be easier for people to appreciate a picture than, a video you just have to invest more time in.
Yeah.
Like it's like however long that video is, I have to watch it as opposed to a picture. You're like, okay, I saw the picture, I like the picture.
And
It's
attention span's short.
the attention span, but it's the instant gratification. So this is dope. And then you move on to the next thing versus the time you invest.
Yeah,
to watching
It
it.
is, yeah. Or the Insta gratification.
To do the super
That
zoom
was
on them right now.
so corny.
That's my niche. Because we're accustomed to
IG got
watching
video.
Yeah, I know, but
IGTV.
I've never watched that. I accidentally clicked it, and I was like, I don't even like when people go live. Like, I hate that. Don't tell me you're going live. I don't care. I don't care about your life. But, that's just me.
A lot of times when people go live, I like watching different people go live. Like I like popular people, like super popular people when they go
like
live
Freddie
because you
Gibbs go
click
live.
on it and it'll be like there are like 400,000 people in there. Then I like when it's like when your aunt goes Facebook Live and I'm like it's just you and our other aunt in here. Like why'd you go live?
You get some.
You could have made a
gold.
post.
You get some
I mean,
comedy gold.
it gets
could've made a
annoying. I'll
post.
be seeing girls go live while they driving. They be like, hey, y'all, guess what I'm doing today? So I got to get this hair. I'll be like, out of here.
I will say one of those things
Don't care.
about people recording themselves is you start to see how much space you have to fill in the video.
That's true.
So many people will turn on the video and be like, all right, guys, hey, so yeah, anyway, and then you realize you're like, you have to fill this with like space. You got to talk.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. So it's always impressive the people that know how to talk, the people that know how to fill a video. I'm always interested in that.
That is the. I mean, I see what you're saying about
Yeah.
that because there are those Instagram or Snapchat personalities where it's like you're putting on a full production with your cell phone.
Yes.
Yeah. That is amazing.
That kind of stuff. That stuff is
yeah.
incredible. When you see people that do it well and know how to cut and edit well, they just stand out above. Because I was like, it's. I know people will complain about it, but I feel like with Instagram and Snapchat, like cream rises to the top.
Yeah.
Like those people that are at like the top, they are always doing something far and above. And even people try to take away from they'll call somebody like, oh, that's an Instagram girl and she only got that. I'm like, yo,
I want to see you do it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I said there are like 400 other thousand girls that look good just like her, but they do not have the following. She's doing something.
It's very entertaining.
Like when they make fun of Instagram comedians, which some of them I'm like
just
are,
hilarious.
are bad.
Yeah.
A lot of them are bad,
Yeah.
but the ones that rise to the top, they're doing something.
Yeah.
Like they're doing something right where they're cutting or they're putting stuff together where it's like it's coming out.
You see you learn a lot more. And like jump cuts and whatnot, everybody like bastardizes jump cuts at this point. But
Let's see that picture. I'm looking in the reflection of the studio window. But yes, he's got this one picture up, and I definitely want to see that. How do you get into you are around Houston and you're recording like a lot of hip hop stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get into that? You just show up and you be like, "What up?"
So because friends are artists, and you just using, utilizing your network.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just know a few people that know other people, and they say, "Hey, man, it's my homie," and they bring me in. That's all. That's really all it came down to. I've been paid for a few of them. Someone's I just need the work. I need to put it out there.
Yeah.
So that, and most times the only thing that people recognize are things that they are recognizable or are they're accustomed to seeing. So, shoot a lot of artists, and like my work, hire me.
What are some of the artists that you've really enjoyed shooting? I just really like this picture.
Yeah.
I like pictures with smoke in them. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, that's another thing.
It was super random. That's actually and I'll give him a shout out. That's not, I don't know who that is that I took a picture of. But the person who organized where this is on IG. It's called Luda the Shooter.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken. And he did like a Insta meetup where a lot of cameras are all in the same space and people show up to get their pictures. And I heard about it, and this is no offense to him, but I heard about it. I heard about one previously. I was like, that seems whack as fuck. Why do I want to be around a bunch of fucking photographers taking pictures? But then I was coming home from a shoot, a gig, and I was going through downtown and I saw all these photographers. I was just like, fuck it. I always have my camera on me, no matter what. Always. I got a lot of catching up to do. Yeah. I'm not getting any younger, and I got a late start in doing photography and really put my name out there. So I need to always be ready.
Yeah.
So at any rate, I have my camera with me coming home from a gig, and then I passed it through downtown, headed to Third Ward. And I was like, I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll just see what's going on. So I hopped out the car. I parked my car, hopped out, walked over there, met some other very talented photographers. Fred Aguijo.
I follow him on it. Yeah.
He goes by Fuji Fred on IG.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
And Michael Anthony. They have a podcast called the Not So Cool.
Not So Cool podcast.
I met them there and met a few other people that I already know. Just kind of networked.
Yeah.
And then I took some pretty dope ass shots. I really liked the fact that there was some random bullshit going on.
Yeah.
There was that one in the one with the guy with the TV and the smoke. Like a TV on his head.
Yeah.
It's the same place.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's not bad.
The randomness that comes from, I guess, since you shot so much B-roll and you were accustomed to shooting B-roll, I think that, from my opinion, from watching you shoot, that has an influence on what you shoot, because you do catch some randomness. You catch like real life things as they happen. So given that you say you're a watcher, you're a person from the outside. You're a person watching from the outside. As you can, basically, growing up, you weren't really talking to a lot of people, were you?
No, it wasn't that I wasn't talking to a lot of people.
Basically, what I'm asking, are you kind of introverted?
No, not at all.
Really?
I'm not introverted. For the people that know me, I'm reserved, or I am. I was a bit of a loner. It was kind of a wall, like right. There's just other things I was dealing with as a kid that where, kind of protecting myself and not really interacting with people was best for me at the time. I was the oldest. I am the oldest of 6 siblings, and I watched my mom and my dad go through divorce and like all that shit, and then dealing with school and little badass, little shitheads. Like kids are mean. Kids are mean, dog.
Okay.
And the biggest thing was like I would in middle school specifically, I would go and hang out with white kids, and they'd be like, "Oh, get out of here."
Really?
Yeah. Or I go hang out with Latinos, and they would be like, you don't speak Spanish, you look Spanish. Okay. All right, have a nice day. And then I would go hang out with black kids, and they would. It was just always really awkward. I always felt like I didn't really have a place.
Okay.
And so from that they kind of like loner mentality. Like that's how I was throughout in like all of high school.
Yeah.
It's like the people who I'm friends with gravitated towards me versus me, being really out and like trying to make all those friends. I waited for those things to kind of fall in place for myself.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
So
One of my best friends, I've known him since the 10th grade, but we met each other because it was by happenstance and just by the fact that we were around each other. So no, I'm not introverted. So full disclosure, I'm a photographer, but I don't know if you guys did you read my recap on Jambalaya?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you read that. I'm straddling the fence between professional world and entrepreneurial world photography, and I was in sales. I've been in sales for a long time. I can't be an introvert.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've sold used cars.
Yeah. And you can't be. I've sold used cars.
Used
too.
cars.
You can't
GameStop.
be an introvert. You have to.
Like, whatever.
Yo.
10 hours a day.
You gotta be out there.
6 days a week.
Got to get these reservations, yo.
Yeah.
Need
Yeah.
these reservations and these subscriptions.
Yeah.
Shout out, fuck boys. God, can't stand game. They fired me, man.
Really?
Wait, why they fire
I've
you?
had similar.
They fired me. I was a store manager. I was up until 3 a.m. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Had a full blowout. Release was dope as hell. Well,
That's the best call. Boy.
yeah,
that
that was a damn good call.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and the release. My release was dope. I had like little bouncing things in my parking lot in front of my store and the whole little game truck and like all this stuff. Kids everywhere. Super dope. Didn't leave the store until 3 a.m. The deposit, obviously, banks closed. Deposit sat in the safe. The next day, it's actual release day, and we're busy the entire day. So we still didn't get to deposit from the day and the night before, and that day. So the following day, my ASM, my assistant store manager, was robbed.
Oh.
And they fired me.
Oh.
Fuckers.
They're going to fire
The best thing they could have done.
the ethnic kid.
Well, so
Just because you were they said they got to.
oh, they got like $30,000
Yeah. Oh.
in cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That game was huge.
Yeah.
The re-release now.
games just
Yeah.
in general. They're
Yeah.
all. But,
Oh, yeah.
But yes, that was a big one for them, and because it
Man.
was a return of Modern Warfare, and they weren't supposed to. Infinity War wasn't going to do another one, but they did.
And they
whatever.
did. And they did their best one, and it was in America. And that's what was the coolest thing, because you're like, wait, y'all are here? And it just blew my mind. I can't wait for the reissue. But wow, that's amazing.
So, anyways, I got canned.
Not-
But you said it was the best thing they could have done.
Oh, for sure.
Why?
Everything that's happened to me was the best thing
Yeah.
that could have happened to me. I'm at the place. I'm a believer. You go through the things you're supposed to for a reason. I believe that. I've gotten to where I'm at. I married the woman I married because of it. My kids, everything that's happened to me in my life has happened for a reason. They sucked at the time, but they happened for a reason.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. You learn.
It's a positive attitude because I mean, you talk about GameStop happened and it was the best thing that happened. Even when you were saying you said you thanked your photographer friend for canceling on you because you're like, I might have been disappointed in the cancellation, but this jump started me.
Him canceling on me, I got somebody else, another dope photographer. Jay Tovar did my wedding pictures. He's a great guy, homie as well. I know that if that didn't happen, I probably would still have been thinking about it, or not even thinking about it. It just wouldn't happen.
Just doing something else.
Just doing something completely
selling
different.
cars.
No, we're not going back to selling cars. It's too hot outside.
Stressful.
Like selling
too hot
cars
outside.
has got to be stressful.
But no, yeah, for sure. I like to think for the most part, when it comes to like life events and life things that happen in life, I think that I'm a half glass full person.
Yeah.
But most times I'm a hater. I'm a half glass empty.
Really?
Yeah, most times. Yeah.
You were surprised every
Big
time.
What do you hate on?
Yeah,
Everything,
You've always
dog.
been cool. You've always been really mellow.
Yeah, I think you're pretty
like,
positive. Like
yeah.
I haven't heard you hate on too much.
No.
Dude, you come on.
I've heard you. No, you know what? Because we're around some
He's
other
told the
very
truth.
opinionated people.
Yeah.
So there are times, I mean,
My hate may not rise to the top.
that's what I'm saying.
But we're all around the same people,
It's not
you
the
know.
cream of the crop of hate. Like, we're around somebody that said Andre 3000 ain't got 10 good verses. I'm just like, what?
Well, that's ridiculous.
So,
He's crazy. Insane.
what?
so what would you
Wow.
say? It's a whole nother thing.
We're not going to go into
very
that.
long story.
We're going to
It's
moving
hilarious.
forward.
In his defense, because I'm not even going to say his name, he backed off it like the next time we saw him. He was like,
His thing was like, he said the challenge was, I dare you to find 3 bad verses from Andre 3000. That was the dare,
Yeah.
and he couldn't.
He goes,
find
I
it.
can
He couldn't
name
find it.
10. I was like,
I can
find
name 10.
one.
Find
It's
one.
just
He
like-
couldn't find one.
No.
I'm sure you could find
He did
one.
He
like,
found a
he
line
did
that
like
he
the,
didn't like. It was
the
a
John Legend song.
Ready to go right now.
Yes.
That's exactly where I was going. But it's still, but I still like that
I still
verse.
like it.
I still like it. It was perfect storytelling. And he had that line about the dark skin and the light skinned girl. And I was like,
Nah, it wasn't even that. It was
Yeah.
like
It
something
was
like
the-
the scooter and the tutor.
No.
I
It's,
got you. I got you giggling like a piglet.
Yeah. He hates that line.
Giggling like
I
a
mean,
piglet.
everybody has,
Hey, everybody got one.
after you rap
Everybody
a
got
certain way.
But that was one bar.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
thank you.
really
But the rest of
was.
the verses,
It
though,
re-
was
the
dope.
rest of it
I
was
can't
great.
think of anything else like that. I was to go that, like I said, that was the one I would go to. But blah blah blah.
But the fact that you could pick out just that one, and then you're like, okay, and then that's it. I got you
find
giggling like a piglet. You're not even saying it's the worst. You're just like, I don't care for that one.
you can find a problem with anything, no
Yeah.
matter what the best thing on the planet is. You can find a problem with it. Like honestly, Beyonce's
Except-
like the finest girl to me, but I mean, somebody's like she's
somebody
ugly.
don't like her.
And I'll be like, that's
A number of
fine.
people don't.
It doesn't really bother
Yeah.
me. Like it's okay.
The only thing that's flawless is Marvel's run. No, I'm
we,
just messing with
we were gonna get there because I was gonna
you.
ask
Marvel's
you.
run.
Do you watch anime?
I watch Naruto.
Okay, because you seem like an anime guy.
I watch
What
Naruto.
does that mean? I watch anime.
Just ask because he likes.
I was like,
I like a- I
can't
like-
judge anybody. I
I
got
like
a
a
Ric
lot
Flair
of-
shirt. I like wrestling, so I'm at the bottom of the barrel, bro.
Yeah, I like a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that I'm a jack of all trades.
Okay.
That's the reason why. Like, I think I've gotten a question a few times, like, "Oh, well, what do you like to shoot?" I don't really. I mean, I like to shoot everything. I really don't care because I'm trying. I just want the picture to look dope.
You like the challenge.
At the end of the day, I just want it to look nice. If it looks good and I'm happy with it, then I'll shoot whatever. I'll shoot that speaker box right there
That's good.
if it looks good.
So it's like you have the skill to shoot anything, and I mean, you're just a driven person that you want to like whatever it is. I want to make it look dope.
Well, I know I've set a time scale for myself, and I need to be doing as much as possible, as quickly as possible, because I have a time scale of when I retire from the corporate world, and I need to meet that deadline. I've always been one. A lot of people feel this way, but I've always been one to speak things into existence. Everything that I've said that I want to do has happened.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's about the energy. It's about how much energy you're putting towards that one thing.
Yeah.
Like when I was before me and my wife got married, I need to fix my fucking credit because I need to buy a house. I did it. I'd set a goal. It's like, we're gonna do this by this time. Fix my credit. Okay, it's done. I need to get this by this time. I want to. Part of that journey was like buying like a car in my name, which was impossible when I made the decision. And I bought a car. Following year, bought a first ass in the seat car. And
Oh man.
and then it was like the next thing was like, all right, I need to get a house. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a house. Got a house. And so I've always been that person. So I set a goal for myself 6 months ago. It's like, in a year's time, I want to be doing photography full time successfully.
Yeah.
If I can meet that, I can, but I'm working towards it. That's the reason why I say I always got my camera on me.
That makes sense. I mean, the best people always keep their equipment around because, I mean, you got to put in your 10,000 hours, and obviously you've put in your 10,000 hours. You've done more
Jesus
than 10,000
Christ.
hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What do you say to people that are thinking about trying to get into something like photography or videography?
I will say something very broad. It's not general. It's not centralized to photography and videography. But then I also bring it back to that. I'll say, if you have a passion in life, chase what that passion is first, because I've done a very long way around to end up where I'm at. Like everything started in high school. I did media tech. I was happy with like camera and B-roll. B-roll cameraman. I love this. This is great. I thought that was life for me when I was 16 years old, and then went to college, went through all these life things, and then came back around, and I'm right back where I started when I was 16 years old. And it's like, that happened for a reason. However,
I could have been doing this the whole time.
I could have been,
and who knows where I would be at.
That's
but
true.
I feel like a lot of people are like that, where it's like you circle around, and I don't know, it's kind of cliche where they're like, if you do something you love, you're not working. But I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
If you figure out a way to do something that you love to do, you're just doing it.
Yeah.
And you see so many people that will go through and find something they love and then say, but I got to have a career doing this. And they'll do that career and not like it, but just do it to do it. And then circle back around and start doing something they love. And they're like, oh, like I really, really like doing this, and I don't mind. I mean, case in point, I'm pretty sure your GameStop, the setup you did for the GameStop thing for Modern Warfare was incredible. You say you're up till like 3 a.m, getting all that stuff done. I'm pretty sure you enjoy staying up till 3 a.m. for your photography or your art way more than you like staying up for GameStop.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But the crazy thing is, like, I own that that event itself. Like even after that, like me and a group of friends, or 2 friends specifically, we had One Mic Music, which was a independent music production company. So for but we really focused on independent artists within Houston, because they didn't have a base to perform on. So we provided a base for my friends who are artists to perform, and we also provided a base for a bunch of the rappers that are actually popular in Houston right now.
Oh yeah.
Have we put them on their first big stage? Don't need to say any names.
Yeah.
But that was a passion of mine, putting on that, and I own that. I own putting on GameStop. Putting on that little event. So the things that I enjoy are the things where I can sink myself into them. It's not necessarily that it's GameStop or this or that or whatever. It's just whatever you're able to immerse yourself, and you make that blueprint is it's like your thumb is on top of that. I think anything you can relate it to anything.
Wow.
Like this podcast for you guys.
Yeah.
This is completely different.
Because we actually like doing this. I didn't think that, it wasn't until we got this. But once you start doing it, you're like, no, this is fun. Like, I like this. I don't mind making the time, saying, like, we're not going to go out on Friday because we're going to record, or we're not going to go out Saturday because we're going to record. And it's just like, it's cool. And we get to meet interesting people.
I was talking to my boy. We've gotten close recently, just because we both ride motorcycles, and he's David Rodriguez. He owns a Tipping Point. Very cool dude, man. But he was like, for the Todd event where you mentioned it, he was like, hey man, I just I can get a photographer here, man. Why don't you just come and enjoy yourself? I was like, I'm enjoying myself. Like like you said, you didn't notice that I was actually shooting. I was shooting the whole time, talking, mixing, mingling, and and then I was shooting, and then then when I edit it, like I enjoy executing in the editing process. So those things don't feel like work.
I didn't even realize you were shooting. Somebody had, was it 40-ounce rosé bottles?
Yeah, that was David.
Okay, so I remember like it was posted, and I was like, I said, this does look like it was from my angle. I was like, oh, David was sitting right next to me. Like, I said, that's why I was like, I remember looking up and seeing this guy holding that bottle, but I was like, I don't remember if I was like, oh, that's right.
Did I take a picture with my brain?
That's kind of what I was thinking. And then I kept
the government watching?
I kept flipping through, and then at one point they had an
stuff.
amazing little thing where they were wrapping up the shirts like meat. And then I was looking at like these two. I was like,
those are my hands.
those are my hands. I was like, God, I had no clue. And I'm like, yeah, this is not you taking out your camera phone.
Spider-Man.
This is you using a camera, and it's for lack of a better word, it's unobtrusive. Like you don't feel like, oh, there's a cameraman here, and you know how. Everybody knows how people get when the camera pops out. Like
that's the worst. That's the worst thing.
I don't
it's
know.
the worst thing for
Let me
someone
see
who
what
cares
it
about
looks like.
photography.
Yeah.
For someone who cares about it, that's the worst thing actually. When you pull the camera up and then somebody
Play to
goes
the camera.
Yeah.
that's the worst thing because it's
people
like you
look
just
crazy.
killed it. I don't even want to do it anymore.
Like
That's why I do like your art, because it's like, yeah, when cameras are out, you play to the camera. Even watching like we were just talking about earlier before about reality shows, and it's just like when there's a camera there, you're playing to the camera, because we're saying if we had a reality show, it'd be really boring. I wouldn't want to play to that camera, but once you have one, you got to like I got to be clean all that. I'm like, if my reality show, it'd be me and like a shirt with a hole in it, an old wrestling shirt, like and sandals going to go shopping.
You never know, it could work. It could be on Vice. But yeah, when the camera does come out, people.
They are glossed
I got
up.
a Facebook photo. People always make fun because I never update it, but it was because my homeboy took a picture of me off guard, and I was like, I like it because if you say take a picture, I look like a convict. Like I'm like,
yeah, I hate taking pictures
like that, like automatically. But he took a picture off guard. I was like, yo, that's a good photo. I'm keeping it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like that's it.
Because it's real.
Until we see another good one, that's what it is. But if you say, yo, take a picture, I said, it's like my little cousin does not know how to smile. Whenever you say smile, he looks like a creep. If you take a picture of him when he's not looking, looks like a cool little kid. You say smile, and it's like, yo, you look like you're gonna grow up and hurt somebody.
The person that I admire, and the person who canceled on me, and the person who I have implemented my own. I told him at one point, I was like, hey, "You're now my mentor. You have no choice." I told him that, and it's like from a distance, like, but. The thing that I admired about his works so much was that feeling, that same feeling.
Yeah.
Like the things that I tried to do when I was doing videography is like, there's those natural moments, man, and being able to capture someone's, just being versus turning into something that's like more than that.
I totally understand. I mean, but that's what it is. So I guess that's been the In My Humble Opinion podcast today. I guess. You can picture us rolling out of here right now. This is Carlton with a K, B-A-N-X-X, Carlton with a K, B-A-N-X-X. But-um-bumps. Yeah, I got corny jokes. I got them all. And plus we got Jess Devon, and we've been here with the man, the myth, the legend, David Wright, Odiwams. Where can we find you at again?
Instagram primarily at the Odiwams. It's right.
Right there.
There we go. Yeah,
we're pointing that stuff.
There we go. It's right there.
All right.
So on Instagram at the Odiwams. I'm on Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter. It's at Odiwams.
Okay.
And, I need somebody to come up off of my at Odiwams on Instagram so I can change my name.
Come up off of it.
Come up
off of it.
And
the website.
And my website too, because it's Odiwams Films. I don't do film. And so, I need whoever's holding my at Odiwams.com. Let go of my Odiwams.com so I can
let
take
go.
it, please.
You know who it is.
So
They want $70.
It's common.
It could be common though.
Yeah,
it could be common. He's like, this gonna pop.
Nobody.
Comments out there. But that's what it is. That's what it's been, and that's what it's always going to be. In my humble opinion, we out. Mama made it. Bitch.